Okay, cool. So, I had this idea to go through my PlayStation trophy list. Because, as you can see on the top right, I have 100 platinum trophies, which is pretty cool. And I've had this idea for a while now, that if I would reach 100 platinum trophies, that I would make a video going through them, and just like kind of reminiscing, because we're gonna see it in a bit. The first PlayStation trophy that I got was probably like 10-15 years ago, maybe more than that. I honestly don't really know. And I've always played a really like big variety of games, and it's also been kind of evolving over time, you know what I mean? Like, I used to be really into Assassin's Creed, which you'll probably see a lot of in this list, and lately I'm really into JRPG, so I thought it would just be fun to like go through the list, see what I've been playing, what games I got really into, and just like talk a bit about those experiences. Some of them I'm gonna go over pretty quickly, some of them I'll slow down a bit and talk some more in detail, depending on if I have something to say or not. You should platinum Xenoblade 2, bro. They should port it to PlayStation, then I will. If one day they port the Xenoblade games to PlayStation, I'll platinum all of them. I feel very safe in making that promise, because it's never gonna happen. First platinum trophy, when was it? 2015? That's not as long ago as I thought. That's like 11 years, which is a while. Assassin's Creed Liberations. This is a really random game that I got my first platinum trophy on. I was saying it in my intro, there was a time that I was pretty into Assassin's Creed, so I guess it's not that surprising, but I don't know why I platinumed this one first. I think it was because, like, Assassin's Creed games, I got really into them, but a lot of them are, like, pretty lengthy. Like, the earlier games aren't that long, but they have a lot of achievements and like collectibles and stuff, and I never really felt like doing them. But this game is super short, like it only has like 8 sequences, which is like chapters. Most Assassin's Creed games are like almost double that, I think, from memory. So this was a really short game, and I was really into the franchise, and platinum trophies used to be kind of daunting, because I was like, oh, do I really want to like put all this time into this random game instead of like playing the next one? And because this one was so short, I just got it on this one, and it was really fun. I actually remember this one being pretty fun. I don't remember anything about this game though. Like, I think this game is like very mid, because I genuinely don't remember anything about it. I just remember getting the platinum, and that I had to grind these like pocket watches or something. Like, there was like an achievement for having all pocket watches. I swear there was something like that. And doing that looked really easy. Oh, pickpocketing, maybe it was that. No, yeah, collect all the pocket watches. This sounded easy, but the last one was so expensive. I remember grinding for so long just to get like enough money to buy them. And that was like really shit when I got it. Because I was like, fuck, this was like so much harder than I thought it was gonna be, but it was also really satisfying. And I think that from then on, I was like, after that satisfaction again of like, damn, this was tough, this was a grind, and it kind of made me like the game less, but it was really satisfying, and so I started it. Next over, and then 2 back to back. Next platinum that I got is apparently Infamous Second Son. This is like one of the first PS4 games that I ever played. My PS4 came with 2 games. We're gonna talk about the second one later, because I also platinumed that one. The other one was Infamous Second Son. This game was really, really fun. I don't remember that much about the story. I remember enjoying it though. I especially remember doing like both routes, like the Infamous and the Hero route, and being really surprised with how far they actually went for the Infamous route, which is like evil, where you're like doing evil things, and the Hero endings where you're like doing all the good things. But this was really fun. It's like a fun superhero game. I really miss Infamous. I've actually recently played through the first Infamous, and very soon I'm gonna play through the second game for the first time. But Infamous Second Son was really fun. This was a really fun, like, open world superhero game, and it was a fun platinum as well. Like, this is actually one of the platinums that I finished, and I was like, oh, this actually made me appreciate the game more, because this wasn't just some horrible grind where I wanted to end it all. Like, this one was really fun. And Assassin's Creed 2. This game is one of the best Assassin's Creed games. As you can see, I platinumed it after Liberation, probably because I like platinumed Liberation. I was like, you know what, that was fun. I should do this for the good Assassin's Creed games. The one annoying thing about this that I remember, like everything about this was really, really good. I absolutely love this game. For as bad as Assassin's Creed is nowadays, Assassin's Creed 2 and just all of the Ezio collection is so, so good. I adore this game. But there was like one achievement for collecting all of the feathers, which is like a collectible, and there were 100 of them. And that was really annoying because there wasn't an in-game tracker. I just remember when I was younger, like printing out the maps of the game and like having marks on the map of like, oh, these are all the feathers, and I would check them off every time I got to one. But somehow I just couldn't find the last one, and I had to go through all 100 again, only to see that like the mark for the final feather was like underneath a mark for another thing, and it was like badly visible or something. It was something stupid, but this game was awesome. The platinum was a bit annoying, but it was still really fun. Batman Arkham Asylum. This one was good. I think, maybe an unpopular opinion, I think this might still be my favorite Batman Arkham game. Mostly because it's so focused. Like, you're in the asylum, which is a very small map, and that's it. Like, that's the game. It's a lot smaller, where City and Nightwind's really big. This game was very small and focused. A lot of people, I think, I'm not 100% sure, I might be wrong with this, a lot of people compare it to like Metroidvania in the way that it's structured, kind of like Dark Souls, I guess, where you need like certain items so you can progress a certain path. This game was just really fun. It's a very beautiful game. It's a very satisfying game with the combat. It had a bunch of collectibles, but it was actually still pretty fun, just because the traversal was really fun. So this is a banger game, actually. I really like that one. Oh god, the order... Assassin's Creed Syndicate. The order in which I got these Assassin's Creed Platinums are so random. Like, because we're also not... I mean, I'm guessing we're not seeing the other Assassin's Creed games in the list, because when you get a trophy, they like get pushed to the very top. Because I definitely didn't play the Assassin's Creed games in this order. But I guess I got the Platinums in this order, which is weird, but I guess. Yeah, Syndicate is fine. It's okay. I don't like Syndicate that much. It's very... The story is not very serious. Like, it's kind of a shitpost in a lot of ways. The city, while beautiful, also doesn't really work for an Assassin's Creed location for me, because it was so open and like the streets were so wide. And of course in Assassin's Creed you want to climb up all the buildings and run across the roofs, but you can't really do that when the streets are so wide. And then to like make up for that, they added a grapple hook, which to me was really stupid, because Assassin's Creed, like, while it has the weird, or like, while it has the fantastical stuff of like you jump off a fucking building and you land in hay and you're fine, but that kind of works. And this is like, oh, we just have a grapple hook and it's like a really small thing on your wrist and like, boop, you can fly up to Big Ben. And I was like, that's kind of stupid in my opinion, and like the story was also really dumb. But it's still Assassin's Creed, so I still like enjoyed it somewhat, because I was just really into these games. I feel like you're gonna hear that the way that I talk about these Assassin's Creed games. I used to be super into this franchise, so I feel like I'm gonna have a lot to say on most of them. This is far from my favorite one. I think it's like a 6 out of 10 at most, but it's Assassin's Creed. I liked... It's just satisfying at a time in my life to like do the Ubisoft open world games, like do all the side content. Like, it was fun. It was alright. So I got the platinum in this one. It was okay. Assassin's Creed Rogue is also like okay. I don't like, this is like a small side game kind of. Yeah, it's again like another game with only 6 sequences, like really short. They released it like at the same time as Unity. Like, that was crazy that they released 2 games in 1 year. Like, no wonder the franchise went downhill. It was already hard enough with yearly releases, but then this year they really wanted to have like a PS3 game releasing at the same time as a PS4 game released. I guess to not alienate the fans that didn't have a PS4, which was nice for me at the time, because I didn't have a PS4 when Unity came out. So I was playing Rogue. This is actually the first game ever that I pre-ordered, which is crazy. because I remember being like really into the series, and this game is about you're like you're basically an assassin, which are like the good guys, and then you have the Templars, which are the bad guys. But this game is about an assassin that becomes a Templar, and there's like the reveal trailer for it was just like the assassin like taking off his hood and like getting rid of like his assassin weapons, and then bringing up a gun and like shooting an assassin in the face. It was like, oh, you used to be my brother or something. And I was like, that's kind of raw. 15-year-old me was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I need this game right now. The game was okay though. They handled that plot kind of stupidly by just making all the assassins in that game really evil and all the Templars really like good for some reason. Like, obviously he's not gonna stay an assassin and join the Templars, but it was alright. This game had a lot of collectibles though. Like, I feel like getting all the collectibles took me a lot longer than beating the main story, but the main story is like maybe 5 to 6 hours long or something. I don't know. Oh, kind of sad I didn't platinum Assassin's Creed Brotherhood on PS3. Probably because of the multiplayer, if I'd have to guess. Because I think the multiplayer was offline or something. Yeah, there were like multiplayer trophies. I played a bit of the multiplayer apparently, but I guess I didn't get too into it. But yeah, didn't platinum it. I don't want to waste time on this one. Revelations. I wish I platinumed them on PS3. Black Flag is fun. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is actually still one of the best ones, in my opinion. And there's even a remake coming soon, which is probably gonna ruin it, because Ubisoft hasn't made a good game in like 10 years, maybe. 10 years might be pretty accurate, because this game released 10 years ago. I think Black Flag is like the last Assassin's Creed game that I like truly enjoyed. This game is great though, I really love it. The main story is fantastic, like genuinely incredible. And the open world stuff was like good. I like the pirate stuff. But there was again a lot of collectibles, as is any Ubisoft game, I guess. But 100%ing this game was actually pretty fun. And the multiplayer actually had to get max level in the multiplayer for this. The multiplayer was really good. I got really into the Assassin's Creed Black Flag multiplayer. Like, I got really into it. That was so fun. Oh, those were good times, man. Just like getting super into that multiplayer. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Uncharted 3. I don't have that much to say about this. Uncharted 3 was, I think, the first Uncharted that I played. I don't know why that is the case. Like, genuinely, I don't know why this is the first Uncharted game that I played, but it was, I think, from memory, and I really liked it. There's not that much to say about it. Like, a lot of people say that this is the worst of the original trilogy, I think. I think that's like the common consensus. That might be wrong. But I enjoyed this game. I thought it was really good. Not that much to say about it. It's Uncharted. Zombie, though. Zombie is a weird game. This is like a game that originally came out on the Wii, I think. And it was like, it got ported to PlayStation. It was free for PlayStation Plus. And it's like a first-person linear zombie like survival game, kind of. And I thought it was fun. A lot of people say it's really bad. I don't know if it's good or bad, actually. I remember enjoying it at the time that I played it, but I don't think it's very good looking back at it. It's probably kind of a mid game, so let's move on. Arkham Knight is good. I actually really like Arkham Knight. A lot of people complain about the Batmobile overstaying its welcome and being forced into every mission, and that is true, but it's still a very good game. I feel like people kind of complain a bit too much about it. I actually really enjoyed this one. It is a beautiful game. It's a very fun game. Again, the combat was super satisfying, like with Arkham Asylum. It's really fun. It's probably like it's my third favorite in the Arkham series. So like Asylum is my favorite, then City, then Knight, and then Origins. So it's not like masterpiece or whatever, but I really enjoyed this game. This is a while that I didn't get a platinum. Tales of the Borderlands. This is a Telltale game, so it's basically just like finish the game and you get the platinum. I don't remember anything about this game. I remember it being like fun, enjoyable. I don't remember anything from it though, so I'm just gonna move on because it's like not like I had to do anything for it. While God of War, the original, the first God of War on the PS3, this was so much fun. Like, it's just a really fun game in general. I'm really excited for the remake as well. I'm curious what they're gonna do with it. But I love the original God of War trilogy a lot. And there was, like, the most memorable thing about getting this platinum is that there was this one trophy of, like, beat the game within a certain amount of hours. Beat the game under 5 hours. That was really fun, because I remember starting the game. Like, I was home alone, and I was just like, okay, let me just get this platinum today. And, like, 5 hours, I guess it's not that impressive of, like, a play session. But I never really do, like, super long play sessions. So back in the day, I was like, I'm gonna start this game right now, and I'm only gonna turn it off when I beat it under 5 hours. And I thought that was super fun. Like, I don't even know why. It was just really fun. I really liked this game. Like, the other trophies were also really fun, but that one, like, really sits in my memory. That I, like, played it like that. Oh, we got a few back-to-back here. This will be fun. I need to drink something. Okay, I'm talking so much. I'm drinking my water. Stay hydrated, guys. Everyone watching this, stay hydrated, yes. Final Fantasy 15. It's really weird to see they only got, like... Yeah, you can see it on the stream, my camera's not blocking it. I only got 45% of all trophies, but I still got the platinum, because this game has so much DLC. And as you can see, I never played any of it. Because I got this game on day one. I remember pre-ordering it. This is the first Final Fantasy game that I ever played. I think it launched then, I assume. Because I remember getting it on day one. This was a really fun game. Like, it has a lot of problems. A lot of people always shit on this one, as it's like one of the worst Final Fantasy games, a lot of people say. Obviously, it got fucked over a lot. Obviously, there's the Versus 13 stuff. A lot of people were very hyped for it because it was in development for so long. But I was kind of just someone who never heard of Final Fantasy. And then I just saw this one trailer where, like, Stand By Me was playing, and I was like, this goes so hard. Chamsta just came online. That distracted me for a second. I'd, like, never heard of it. I saw that one trailer, and I was like, this game looks sick. So I pre-ordered it, and I played it, and I really, really enjoyed it. Ever since then, though, I never went back to it. Because a lot of people say that it's got so many DLCs and so many patches and fixes and everything that it's basically a different game at this point. So I will revisit it one day. Like, I would love to play the Royal Edition, but I have a lot of games to play, so that's why I haven't yet. No, this game was really fun. I really, really enjoyed it. It was really fun to, like, get super into this game and just, like, find out everything. Like, go through the whole open world, catch all the fish, like, stupid stuff like that. I just really enjoyed this one. This one was fun. Watch Dogs 2. This is a weird one because gameplay wise, this game is really, really fun and creative. Like, the way that the hacking is being used and everything, really, really good. Very, like, pretty open world, very Ubisoft open world, obviously, because it's a Ubisoft game. Gameplay wise, this game was very, very fun, and that's why I platinumed it, but story wise, kind of dog shit. Like, the way that the character dialogue especially, so bad. Like, genuinely, kind of embarrassing that they wrote some of those lines. But it was really fun platinum. I remember just, like, enjoying driving around this world and doing all the things. So, for that, good game. But, like, the story drags it down a lot. Like, I never think about this game. This is not, like, a game that I would really say is, like, a good game. But the gameplay was good. I'm just more of a story guy. Life is Strange. Is good. I like Life is Strange. I don't really remember what I had to do to get the platinum. 6% of people got it. I think that's, like, quite a bit, isn't it? Yeah, because normal platinums are like 1 or 2%. So I'm guessing I just had to do, like, some small stuff for, yeah, like, take optional photos. So that was probably it. I like Life is Strange though. I like Life is Strange 1 before the Storm and True Colors. I never really played 2, and I heard that the 2 latest games are kind of bad, so I haven't played them yet. The Life is Strange 1 is good. I really like it. And the platinum was fun, I guess. I don't remember that much of it, to be honest. Where's the next one? This was a... Oh, Bloodborne. Its peak. This game, I mentioned earlier, the infamous Second Son, was one of the first games that I ever got. Or, like, it's one of the first games that came with my PS4. Bloodborne was the other game. When I got my PS4, it came with Bloodborne. Like, I didn't even want this game. Like, I did not really know anything about this game, to be honest. All I knew is that it was hard, very, very hard and challenging, like brutally so, as it is a Souls game, obviously. But I remember walking into the store when I was younger and being like, I want a PS4. And the guy was like, okay, here's a PS4, and here's the Bloodborne Special Edition. Like, I think I have it over there. The guy was like, here's your PS4, and here's your Bloodborne Special Edition. It comes with like an art book and a steelbook and stuff. And I was like, I don't really want it. As I was fucking stupid when I was younger. I was like, I've heard this game is hard, and I don't like very hard video games. I don't want this game. Like, can you guys just keep it and I get like the trade back money, as it was like the Belgian equivalent of a GameStop? And the store person was like, yeah, sure, I'll give you 20 euros for it. And I was like, you are crazy. It says collector's edition on the box. It was still wrapped. It had never been opened. And he was like, if you trade this in, you get 20 euros for it. And I felt insulted by that. So I was like, I'll take it. You know what? I can do without those 20 euros. I'll play Bloodborne. Maybe it's good. And then I played it and I got obsessed with it. And it is now one of my favorite games of all time. So I guess it's a good thing that they only wanted to give me 20 euros for it. Absolutely fantastic game though. In a lot of ways kind of changed the way I look at gaming. Like, I never really wanted a challenge out of my games. As I said, like, I didn't even want to take this game. But after beating this, I will play games on a harder difficulty now. Because, like, the challenge that this gave me was so fun. A genuinely fantastic game. I'm surprised it's not, like, lower in this list, but I guess it's because I played the DLC like a lot later. Like, I played this in 2015 and I played the DLC in 2018, so that makes sense. That checks out. Assassin's Creed Origins is like the first of the RPG Assassin's Creed games. I enjoyed it. I thought the story was pretty good. The open world was way too big and I didn't really like the RPG mechanics, but it was Assassin's Creed, so I was like, I'll platinum it. That's just what I used to do, I guess. And it was fine. Like, I don't have that much to say about it. This game is like fine. It's the best out of the RPG games in my opinion. But this was like the last... I said this earlier as well with Black Flag. This is like the last Assassin's Creed game that I like really enjoyed. Black Flag was like the last Assassin's Creed game that was like, oh, this is actually amazing. And like, I love Assassin's Creed. Origins was the last Assassin's Creed game that I finished and I was like, that's a good video game. We'll talk about the next ones later. Steins Gate Zero. I love Steins Gate Zero. It's not as good as the original Steins Gate. It's like a prequel, sequel, in the middle of the story, spin-off, canon story. It's hard to explain if you don't know what Steins Gate is. It's a visual novel with time traveling. So that it's an Assassin's Creed Soul Platter sheep. That's how I used to be. That's how I used to be. This is not the worst offender of that. We'll get back to that sentence later. No, Steins Gate Zero is... I like Steins Gate Zero a lot. Not as good as the original, but it's not bad. It's a visual novel, so like platinum it was like nothing really. JoJo's Eyes of Heaven. This is another sheep moment. It's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so I'll do everything that it has and I'll platinum it. I'm not even into fighting games. There's like a 3D arena fighter. Not really into those. But it was JoJo's. It was really fun to like see all the different interactions. Because while I don't think this is necessarily like a great game, I don't really have like... I can't really say if it's good by like fighting game standards. Because I'm not really into them. But as a JoJo fan, I really enjoyed this. Because you could see that it was made by like people with a lot of passion for the series. There were so many small Easter eggs and there are so many like character interactions. Because this was like, obviously JoJo is like a story that spans generations of this one family. And even like universes as after the 6th generation, there's like a universe reset. And the game has so many interactions with characters that never meet in the series itself, and it's just so good, and it had a really good like main story as well, like an original main story. I really enjoyed this. So yeah, Dishonored is another fantastic game. It's like a first-person stealth game. I also got really into this one. Getting the platinum through this was really, really fun, because you had to do like, yeah, like the ghost trophy. Complete all missions without alerting or killing anyone. Complete all missions without alerting everyone, like never get any supernatural powers, because the game is all about like, you're an assassin, you have like supernatural powers like teleporting and like controlling rats and like other stuff. I don't know why I'm blanking on the powers right now, but it was really fun to play through this game with those challenges, like do a high chaos run where it's basically like all out chaos, you're just shooting everyone, to like a ghost playthrough where you're never once alerted. This was really fun. And as I can see, I knew it's for the thing, but I wasn't 100% sure, but now that I'm looking at it, yeah, I got the ghost, shadow, and no supernatural powers in one playthrough, and that was so fun. That was like one of the funnest things I ever did in the game. What a fantastic video game. Uncharted 4, my favorite Uncharted game. I really like this one. Not that much to say about it though, it's an Uncharted game, like, it's kind of just like all the other ones, but it was really fun. Moving on. Assassin's Creed 2, again, because it's Assassin's Creed, so I'll platinum it, even if it's the remaster, even if I already did it before. This was fun, I already talked about it. It's peak. Battlefield 1, I don't remember, to be honest. I think this was like free on PlayStation Plus or something, because I never bought a Battlefield game. Or maybe if some friends wanted to play it and I bought it to play with them, I don't remember. But I got the platinum on it, because I guess I was enjoying the gameplay. And like sometimes, like every now, like I'm not into shooters generally, but sometimes I do want to like play a shooter. Like I played Titanfall, I played like some of the Call of Duty campaigns, I played Battlefield 1, and for some reason I platinumed it. I cannot tell you why, to be honest, but I did, and I don't remember hating the game, so it must have been like pretty fun, right? I don't know. Marvel Spider-Man, this game is awesome. The PS4 game. This game was honestly really special, because as with a lot of people, I grew up with Spider-Man. He was always my favorite superhero. I'm still pretty into like superhero stuff, even though the MCU fell off. But now that DC is here, DC Universe here to save us, but I was always really into superheroes. I always loved Spider-Man, so this game was honestly like a dream come true to me. Like everything about it. I loved the story. It had a lot of like really strong moments, a lot of really strong emotional beats. It had a really fun open world. The swinging and the combat was so satisfying. Like, I love it. Like, even in the second game, like the second game is a lot more flawed, we'll get to that later, but it just has that swinging and it felt so good. Like, I love this game. This used to be, like, for a while, my favorite game, like when it came out, and even now it's like ranks pretty highly because there's so many fond memories and so just like satisfying to swing around that city. Absolutely incredible. Assassin's Creed Odyssey though is a piece of shit. But I platinumed it because it's an Assassin's Creed game and I wanted to get my money out of it, because I remember that when it came out, I didn't even really want this game, because I was like, Origins was like still good, but it has a lot of the RPG things in it that I don't really like. And then they announced Odyssey and it just looked like all of the things that I disliked in Origins times 10. And I was like, I don't really want this. But then when we got closer to release, I think the ending got... Yeah, sheep. This is the... there's another one. When we got closer to release, I think the post-credit scene of this game leaked or something. And it showed like Ezio and like the rest of the assassins. But this game is also set like hundreds of years before the Assassin Order is like created. And I was like, that's like, what are they doing here? Like, it's actually really interesting that they would like set the game so early but still show like stuff from like later in the franchise. So I guess it connects. And for some reason, I guess that convinced me to buy this game. And then I finished it and I was like, this game was fucking terrible. Like, I hated it. And I was so angry at it. But I also spent all this money on it. And I was like, fuck it, I'll platinum it. I don't remember why. I could not do this today. I spent so many hours in this game. But it was also like a mindless, like, open world game. So, like, I guess in that way it wasn't that bad, where I just, like, put on a podcast and, like, ran through this massive open world and just, like, did a checklist of things, which was, like, satisfying in its own way. But that's not a good game. Terrible. Genuinely terrible video game. One of the worst games that I ever played. Hands down. Easily. Attack on Titan 2 is fun. There's, like... fun. The story was a bit weird because you're like playing as an original character that like your player created, and then you get put into the Attack on Titan storyline. And it was kind of grindy as well, because a lot of the missions were really repetitive, but it was really fun to like swing around with the ODM gear, kill all the Titans. Like, the combat system in this game is genuinely incredible. I really love how they did it. It's such a satisfying gameplay loop. To start a mission, your guy's just standing there, and then you like, with the ODM gear, you're like swinging around. So then you just like shoot up into the sky, you're swinging around the city, and like just going from Titan to Titan, like taking down their legs so they fall, go for the nape, boom, done, swing to the next one. Like when you're in the air, your blades are damaged, you switch out your blades, you switch out like the steam so you can keep going. So satisfying. Genuinely like a really, really fun gameplay loop, which was sadly stuck in kind of a mid-game besides that, but it is what it is. I don't know. It is what it is. Assassin's Creed 3 is fine. I have a lot of issues with it, but it's also really good in a lot of ways. And actually, like, I remember not really enjoying this game when I finished it. There were a lot of things I didn't like about it, but then getting the platinum actually made me appreciate it more, because you also see it as the remastered platinum. I didn't platinum this on the PS3, the original release. But playing through the remaster, I was also doing like this platinum marathon with a friend at the time, because me and him were both really into Assassin's Creed, and we were like, what if we platinum all the Assassin's Creed games together? So it was really fun to like, every day after school, coming home, joining a VC, and just like playing through the Assassin's Creed games together. And this one, getting the platinum made me enjoy it a lot more, made me appreciate it a lot more, because the side content is actually really, really good. There's like the homestead, which is like your own little town that you build up, and doing the side quests in there actually gave Connor, the main character, a lot more character, and I really, really like that. So there's like a lot of the side content was actually really good, so I'm glad that I platinumed this game. Steins Gate 1, kind of similar to what I said before with Steins Gate 0. It's a visual novel, so it was basically just to get the platinum, you had to see all endings. But Steins Gate is one of my favorite stories of all time. If you are watching this right now, if you're watching the VOD, I don't care. If you don't know what Steins Gate is, either watch the anime because it's pretty good, or play the visual novel. It is incredible. One of my favorite stories of all time. I love it so much. And I played this game a lot of times as well, because I remember that my first playthrough of it, I did on PC. Because I sailed the high seas to get it originally, because I was like, I don't know if I'd enjoy a visual novel, it's just a book. It's not a video game, it's just a book. Why would I read a book on my PlayStation? So I, like, a friend sent me a download, and I played it on PC, and I loved it so much that I eventually got it again for PlayStation to replay it. And Steins Gate is a game that I'll every now and then go back to replay, to rewatch, because I just love it so much. And even though the upcoming remake is very much a cash grab, I feel like I might get it on the sale at some point, because I would like to like revisit the story. It means a lot to me personally. Detroit Become Human is whatever. Actually don't remember that much of this game. I remember it being pretty good. And this was also like a story-driven game. Like a Telltale game kinda, so you just had to do like some small optional things to get the platinum. It was fun. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, fantastic. Second game in the Ezio trilogy. 10 out of 10 game. I love this game a lot. And the platinum was really fun. Not much to say about it, it was just really good. And I got the PS4 platinum because on the PS3 there was the whole multiplayer thing, so I really liked that I like remastered it, and that I got to play it and like do all the side content. And it was really satisfying because in this game you're like in Rome and the assassins are taking back Rome from the Templars, and it was super satisfying to do all of the side content, and this game really made you feel like step by step you were taking back the city, and like giving it back to the people, and that was so good. And the main story does a good job at that, but it's mostly the side content that really pushed that feeling and made it so good. Persona 5 dancing, I like rhythm games sometimes, and Persona 5 has a good OST, so I got the platinum on it. Not much to say. A few games back to back. A Way Out is like the first, or one of the first games by the developers of It Takes Two and Split Fiction. And I played this one with a friend back in the day, and it was really fun. This was really janky though. I remember not enjoying it that much. Like, it was fun to play with a friend, but unlike It Takes Two, there's not really a game that I would like tell everyone to go and play. It Takes Two was really fun. But this one was like, it was fun. It was fun enough to get a platinum. But this was also like mostly doing like really tiny things, and like, because some of the levels were more open, so you just had to like go somewhere and do something random to get a trophy. That was pretty fun. Star Wars Jedi is awesome. There's like probably one of my favorite things in Star Wars, because Star Wars, as we all know, fell off when Disney got it. But the Star Wars Jedi games are like one of the better modern Star Wars things out there. Really good story, really fun gameplay. It's kind of like, not really, but it's kind of a Souls-like in the way they have these like checkpoints that if you rest at a checkpoint you revive, but then all the enemies respawn. I like the way that it with like shortcuts, and like you unlock force abilities that allow you to double jump and like do all of that stuff to unlock more parts of the map. Very fun game. I really enjoyed it, and getting the 100% was also really fun. Persona 5. The PS4 version. Star Wars fell off way before Disney. Okay, yeah, that's true. I wasn't true. The prequels are before Disney, yeah. I was never that big into Star Wars. Like, I liked the original trilogy. When I was a kid, I liked the prequels. But nowadays, I like know that the prequels aren't good, and mostly people that like it because of nostalgia, which is fair. But yeah, I guess that is a fair point. Disney did fall off way before. Star Wars did fall off way before Disney. But it did get a lot worse after Disney as well, though. Like, some of the stuff that Star Wars is putting out now. Embarrassing. We are not skipping Persona 5. Persona 5 is peak. When I started Persona 5, or like when I got into Persona 5, this was another game that I went into with like no expectations. Because I never played the JRPG at the time. But I saw the Persona 5 anime on like the upcoming seasonal anime. And I looked at that and I was like, oh, I heard good things about Persona. I'm not into JRPGs, but I like anime. Maybe I'll watch the anime. Everyone started screaming at me to not watch the anime and just play the video games. So I was like, the video game. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll buy it. It's like 10, 20 euros at the time or something. So I played it. And initially, it was kind of hard for me to get into. I think you can see it in the trophies. Yeah, like complete the Castle Palace, like the first dungeon. I did it in like August of 2018, and then the next dungeon I only completed in 2019 in April, because I took a very long break from this game because I could not really get into it originally. But I gave it another shot, and now I really love it. Like, I finished my first playthrough, I immediately started the second playthrough to like max out the social links and do like all the special things for the platinum. Like, incredible game. And kind of in the same way that Bloodborne made me like appreciate different types of games I didn't think I would be into originally, Persona 5 also did that once again, being like, no, even if I never played a game of the genre before, why not just give it a try? Because maybe you'll fall in love with it. And that's really what like Bloodborne and Persona 5 did to me. And that's why I play such a big variety of games. Like, Persona 5 is incredible, still one of my favorite games. And at the time, I must have played it like 2, maybe 3 times. I don't think I finished it 3 times, so I do think that I started the third playthrough to like clean up some trophies. Pretty fun. Insane song sync up. You just think that, but I'm actually playing the Persona OST playlist. But yes, true. It is an insane song sync up. What a crazy thing to happen in this live stream today. Assassin's Creed Revelations, final game of the Ezio trilogy. Once again, got the remaster platinum because it didn't have the multiplayer trophies. Incredible game. It has like more flaws than Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, like the other Ezio trilogy games, but the ending of this game is fantastic. Still like one of my favorite endings in gaming. It is brilliant how it ties together the modern day plotline, how it ties back to Assassin's Creed 1, how it ties up Ezio's character. Brilliant game. Loved it. But the open world was like kinda because it had like a tower defense minigame, which I didn't really like. But it was fun to get the platinum and like do all the optional dungeons and stuff, like the parkour challenge. It's really fun. Dark Souls Remastered is awesome, because obviously after loving Bloodborne so much, I had to go back, play Dark Souls. Dark Souls 1 is still my favorite of the Dark Souls trilogy. Really loved it. It was incredible to go through this game and like do all of the optional stuff. My glass of water is empty, I'm gonna refill it. It was really cool to do like all of the optional stuff, do all of the bosses, like play it a few times, get all the different endings, and like really learning that game, like inside and out. So I have a lot of fond memories of this game. It might not be like objectively the best Dark Souls games, and like the second half is kind of falls off a bit, because it's a bit more disconnected, and like it has like some bosses like Bed of Chaos, which are not very good, but Dark Souls 1 is still like my favorite out of the ones I played. There's something about it, and like it does have some incredible bosses as well, obviously, with like Artorias and stuff. Incredible game, masterpiece. I am drinking water. What's wrong with drinking water? Water is peak. You should also drink some water. You're probably like drinking your gamer drink. Like, oh, I was gonna say Monster Energy, but I don't think you're a Monster Energy guy. I don't know what I'm saying. Water is cool, water is peak. Just like Persona 5 Royal, oh my god. Because after playing Persona 5 Original, or like Vanilla, I obviously wanted to play it again just to get to the last semester. Scotch initially. Yes. But then I thought it was apple juice. I shouldn't have revealed it was water. That would have been sipping my glass of apple juice. Dark Souls and Xenogears being masterpieces despite being unfinished. I need to play Xenogears. And this quick is also in the chat, so you'll probably agree with the fact that I have to play Xenogears. Chocolate brownie ice cream. Bro, I wish I had chocolate brownie ice cream. What am I doing drinking this water? Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right to make fun of me for drinking water. No, Persona 5 Royal. Thank you, Atlas, for re-releasing your game with like 10 hours of no content, like 10-15 hours of no content, and making me buy the entire game again. Absolutely incredible. Platinum for this one was easier though. I remember doing it in one playthrough. I think it might have had like a New Game Plus exclusive boss or something. Like fighting the twins maybe, but yeah, I got most of this in one playthrough. It was fun. You know my thoughts on Persona 5. Which are very similar to my thoughts on Nier Automata. Absolutely incredible. Yet another game that I just bought with like zero expectations at all. Because I just had a friend who was like, oh, I'm listening to this Nier Automata OST. And it's such a good OST, bro. And I was like, what about the game? And he was like, oh, the game looks like okay. And I was like, bro, it's so weird. Like, if the OST is that good, like, why not just try out the game? So then I tried out the game. Because he was like, oh, why are you telling me to try it again? Just try it out yourself. And I was like, you know what? I will. I took that as a I took that as a challenge. I was like, you know, I will buy this game that I've never heard about. I absolutely loved it. It was incredible. This game also has the trophy shop. Like, there's an in-game shopkeeper where you can buy PlayStation trophies from. But I actually got this trophy legit. This platinum legit. I am aware that I could just be saying that and that I don't have proof, but I did it. Because I remember seeing that shop and being like, oh, that's kind of funny and silly, and like, now looking back on it, that is a very Yoko Taro thing to do. But this was really fun to play. Like, I loved getting all the endings. This is another game that I took like a really big break with. It's really nice of them to include a game with the OST, isn't it? I love it when games do that. No, but no, like, I took a massive break in this game. What the fuck, that's like longer than I thought. Because I got ending A in 2018 and ending B in 2020. That's crazy. In my mind, it was like a couple of months break, but no, that's a crazy long break that I took. No, I like this game. This is one of my favorite games of all time. And getting the platinum was very, very fun. And that was also the first Yoko Taro game that I played, and I got very into the Yoko Taro games, as we'll see later as well. The Last of Us was fun. I really like the original The Last of Us. The fun thing, like, it's The Last of Us, I feel like I don't really have to say that much about it. The fun thing about this trophy that I remember being really fun is especially playing it on the hardest difficulty, because the hardest difficulty in The Last of Us games are really, really challenging, and it's really fun to, like, really, like, push the game mechanics to the max with, like, the stealth and, like, the gunplay and the enemy AI and stuff. Like, really, really fun and satisfying. But the multiplayer, that's actually the same amount of time it took between finishing the ending and the fishing ending and beating it. True. The fishing ending is the best ending of Nier Automata. That was a fun part of the Nier Automata trophy, like getting all the endings, because there's like one ending for each letter in the alphabet, and getting all of them was really fun. Just like the absolute absurd things that you had to do in that game to get the ending. Like, if you just like, sometimes there's like a linear path where like it's an open world game kinda, but sometimes they're like, oh, you have to go there right now, like you're here, you have to go there. But if on the way there you would like trail off a bit, the game would just end and you would get credits. And it's like a text shows up that's like 2B was tired of fighting and 2B went fishing, and then you get the fishing ending. That was fun. Back to The Last of Us. The thing that I really remember liking about The Last of Us trophies that I didn't really think I would like that much is the online. Kinda sad that the online for the second game got cancelled, but the online for the first game was really, really fun. This was something that I really didn't expect to like, because that was like the only thing stopping me from getting the platinum on the PS3 version. But with the PS4 version, I was like, you know what, I'll give it a go, and actually got really into it for a bit. And that was fun. I liked it. Last of Us Part 2, kind of same deal, besides for the multiplayer part. A game that very controversial. I was also not too sure about it when I was like playing through it at first. But like reflecting on it, replaying it again, I do really, really love this game. Both story and gameplay. The gameplay was extremely satisfying. Just really fun. I really enjoyed it. Good game, good game. Dark Souls 2 pisses me off, because I'm so close to getting the platinum. And the thing that's stopping me is like getting all the rings, because you need to like level the covenants and stuff. And Dark Souls 2 is not good enough for me to like replay and grind the Covenant stuff. Ghost of Tsushima. I just saw Kingdom Hearts 3 there. That's gonna be another fun, controversial one. Ghost of Tsushima, really fun. Kind of in a lot of ways, kind of a generic open world game. But it was a really good one. Like, I feel like that's... A lot of people look at Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei and kind of say like, oh, this is just a Ubisoft open world game. Like, why do people like these games and then hate on the Assassin's Creed, like the later Assassin's Creed games? And the difference is that the Ghost games are good. like the Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yoto, like we'll get to it later. Very, very good games. Absolutely beautiful open world. Like they can get a bit checklisty if you're getting the platinum and like really doing everything the game has to offer. But as I said in like one of the earlier trophies, sometimes that is just really fun and satisfying to get like all the things, and like it's just like a satisfying thing to just like go through the game and do all the little objectives and stuff. Oh, just like listening to a podcast. Fun game. I really like Ghost of Tsushima. Kingdom Hearts 3 is my favorite Kingdom Hearts game. Especially when we count Remind. Remind made the game even better. A lot of people don't like this game. I really love it. I loved it as soon as I played it. But what I feel like is important to mention with this is that I played this game a lot later after release. Like it was late 2020 that I played this. I was like playing through the whole series, and every time I beat a game, I would always just move on to the next one. Like I beat Kingdom Hearts 1, okay, time to play Retry the Memories. Beat that game, time to play the next one. Like next. But then I got to Kingdom Hearts 3, and I finished it, and I was like, I want like more. Like I really, really loved playing through this entire franchise. Like yeah, it has ups and downs, and some games are not very good, and some games are incredible. But I reached the end of my journey, and I was just like, I wanna like platinum this. And I didn't platinum the other games because I always just wanted to go to the next one. But then Kingdom Hearts 3 I got super into, and I think that's maybe part of why it is my favorite. Because with the other games it was always just like, okay, beat it next. This game I just like, I got really into. I did everything that this game has to offer. Like I got really into the whole gummy ship stuff even. I did like, I think you had to beat this game on Proud difficulty as well. Like there was a lot of side content, and just like getting super into this game, getting the ultimate weapon in this game, such a fun process. So I get why a lot of people don't like this game, because like the pacing is not very good, and like, yeah, like a lot of the Disney worlds might not be that great, but the Disney worlds were always my least favorite thing of Kingdom Hearts, and to be honest, I like the Disney worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3 the most. Like, yeah, it has some stinkers, like Frozen is not great, but all the other games also have a stinker. Like, I was never that into the Tron world in 2, or like, the underwater world in the other ones. Kingdom Hearts 3, I just really, really liked. I loved this. Especially, like, doing the data battles as well. I didn't beat Yozora, which is this one. I didn't beat him, but I did do all of the 13 data battles, which was really, really satisfying and fun. So yeah, I just have a really good memories of Kingdom Hearts 3, and I really love it. Persona 4 dancing, not really gonna talk about it. It's the same thing as Persona 5 dancing. Persona has good music. I like rhythm games. I play the rhythm game and do everything in it. Gravity Rush Remastered. I remember enjoying this game a lot, but I don't remember that much details of it. But like, obviously this game is like you're a gravity shifter and you can like fly and like just manipulate gravity. And that whole aspect of it was so fun. Like the traversal was incredible, the city, it's like an open world game, the city looked beautiful. Also because of like the gravity, it had like a really pretty art style, and like buildings would be sideways, and like, ooh, I don't know. I don't remember that much of this game, I just remember really enjoying it, and I really have to play the second game. But the thing that I enjoyed the most of this game was probably just doing everything. Doing all of the side content. And getting really into it. That was fun. Dishonored 2. Similarly to Dishonored 1, it was really fun to play this game with like never getting detected, not using your powers, not killing anyone, doing like the lethal route and non-lethal route. That was really fun. This game also has 2 playable characters, which like adds another layer to that of like replayability, because both characters have a completely different moveset, so you can play the game one time with Corvo and then replay it with another character who's I'm blanking on their name right now, and they both have completely different movesets of powers, and it was really, really fun. I don't like Dishonored 2 as much as the first game, but it was fun. I really, really enjoyed it. It's a very good game. Marvel Spider-Man Remastered. I don't even think I replayed it. I think I got this game with like the Miles game, like the Miles spin-off sequel game. I think it came for free with that game or something, and I just like booted it up to swing around a bit, and the trophies auto popped, and I was like, fuck it, I'll take it. Valhalla, Assassin's Creed. Mac, prepare the sheep emote. Another Assassin's Creed game, so I'll platinum it. I don't hate this game as much as Odyssey. It's not a good game. I really don't like this game. But I did do everything I had to offer, because there were glimpses of a really great game in there. I think the writing is really strong. It's like you're basically taking over the UK, I think, and you had like different districts, and every district had its own arc, and some of those arcs are actually really well written, but it's like it has the Ubisoft thing where it's not a linear game, so while the arcs themselves were good, they don't really inform each other, and the characters are like struggling to have a real arc because you can do it in every order. Thank you for the sheep emotes. But yeah, I platinumed it. This is the last Assassin's Creed game that I platinumed though. This one was like, I'm done. I'm surprised it took me this long, but this is the last Assassin's Creed game that I played, and the last game that I platinumed. I think I platinumed all of them. From like Assassin's Creed 1 didn't have a platinum, but then 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, 3, 4, Unity actually didn't platinum, Syndicate, Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, I platinumed all of them. Unity is the only one that I didn't platinum, because as I was saying earlier, with my friends who I was doing like the platinum marathon with, we still played Valhalla together, and Unity was supposed to be the next game, but then kind of like life got in the way, I guess, because I don't know, just life sometimes, isn't it? We both got really busy. It was kind of busy to like be in a VC at the same time and play through an Assassin's Creed game and platinum it. So Unity is actually the one game that I never platinumed, because I never got to play through it with him, which is kind of sad. Maybe one day I'll go back and get to Unity Platinum, because Unity is like a fine game, but it's kind of sad that I have all of them platinumed besides for Unity, despite me not even hating that game. Like, I despise Odyssey and I platinumed it. I do not like Valhalla and I platinumed it. So maybe one day I'll go back and platinum Unity to finish off the collection. Oh, what the fuck, these are a lot. These are like 5 in a row. Okay, better sip my apple juice. Kingdom Hearts, Melody of Memory. There's like a rhythm game sequel to Kingdom Hearts 3, and this is probably my favorite rhythm game. I really love this. It was really fun to get, like, of course, Kingdom Hearts has a fantastic soundtrack. It was really fun to like really get into this game and like do the hardest songs on the hardest difficulty. Like, I remember One Winged Angel, and like there was another song that I'm blanking on the name right now, but like One Winged Angel was one of the hardest songs in this game, and doing Down Proud was like insane. Sometimes like I remember being shocked when I finished that, as like there's another Square Enix rhythm game by the same team you should platinum. I should platinum Yat Rhythm, but I need to play more Final Fantasy games first, because I really do not want to, or like, for some games it doesn't matter, but I don't really want to play through like FF10's section or FF6 without knowing the game. So like, but I'll probably platinum that at some point. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts, Melody of Memory, fantastic. I was like shook when I did One Winged Angel as a perfect chain. I was like, what the fuck, no way. That was so much fun. Uncharted 1 Remastered. This was really fun to platinum as well. It's an Uncharted game, not that much to talk about, but the hardest difficulty in Uncharted 1 does not fuck around. And this game is really janky as well. Like, even the remaster, the third-person shooter controls are not that good. And, excuse me, playing through down the hardest difficulty was hard. Probably my least favorite Uncharted game. But it was still fun. And I also, like, I remember playing this a lot with a friend in VC, and that was, like, very fond memories of that. Final Fantasy VII. This, oh my god. This is the original Final Fantasy VII. I love this game so much. It's a brilliant game. And it honestly aged really well in my opinion, like visually. In some aspects, yeah, it maybe didn't age that well with the like Roblox looking characters, but pre-rendered backgrounds are beautiful. The combat is still incredibly satisfying, like figuring out the materials and everything. Very, very fun. And when I played Remake first. Remake was my introduction to Final Fantasy VII. I talk about that one later, because I did platinum it. Then I went back to play the original, and I beat it, and I was like, this is one of the best games I've ever played. I loved it so much. And then I went for the platinum, kind of naively. I think that's the way to say it. Because this was a lot harder than I thought it would be. Like, the super bosses in this game are insane. Like, genuinely, because I beat this game, and I was like, oh, you know what, it was just, like, challenging, but it wasn't, like, impossible. But then doing, like, the weapons, man? Insane. I'll never forget playing the FF2 NES Chocobo team for hours and getting an all-critical chain for a trophy. True. But that is, like... Thank God, I'm not even reading your second message out loud. I'm just gonna ignore that, to be honest. Not gonna acknowledge it, but yes, that is the fun of platinuming a rhythm game. Like, just getting some platinums in general. Like, it's so fucking challenging, but like, those experiences do stick in your mind because it's so satisfying when you finally get it. Same thing with me finally beating these weapons, because they were so hard. Fantastic game, though. The platinum made me appreciate it even more, because I really had to, like, lock in and figure out my materials for these weapons. Fantastic. Concrete Genie. This is like a chill vibe game, kinda. I remembered it was free on PlayStation Plus, and I had a weekend that I wasn't sure what to do. And I just played this game. It's like you're a guy with a paintbrush, and the things you paint come to life. And it was just a really chill game. You just like play through it and like do all the trophies. It was like a really short game, really chill. Like, I wouldn't say it's like a fantastic game, but it was just like, for that one weekend, very, very fun. I kind of forgot about it though. I was surprised that it showed up on the list. Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. I talked about the other Spider-Man games, not that much to say. It's... I think this is my least favorite one though, of the three. But this was a fun game. I really liked it. I loved like the Christmassy setting and like New York in the snow always. Oh, what a beautiful game. Very short as well, but a really fun platinum. Like, that's swinging, man. Insomniac nailed like the Spider-Man feel. Like, oh, it's so good, so satisfying. Persona 3 Dancing in Moonlight, Persona 3 is peak. I love the OST, fun rhythm game. Now that we have all of them though, like now that I talked about all the three Persona 3, now that I talked about all the three Persona rhythm games, I will say that these are kind of subpar, especially compared to like Theatrhythm and the Kingdom Hearts rhythm game. Because these games are like fun. I like the Persona rhythm games, but they don't even have like, I mean, yeah, I don't know, they sometimes don't have like all the songs of the OST. They sometimes have like really bad remixes. Only 5% on Crash. I dropped this game. I did not get very far into it. This was another game that I think it was for free on PlayStation Plus, and I was like, oh, I'll try it. And I did not get into it. I don't know why I couldn't get into it. So yeah, I dropped it. That's 5%. But no, I like the Persona rhythm games. They are kind of subpar compared to like the Square Enix ones. Infamous First Light was like a kind of like a DLC for Infamous Second Son. They got like a standalone release. This one was really fun. Like I talked about it in the very beginning of this live stream. I really love Infamous. I think the power system is incredibly fun. I think the open world is really, really fun. And yeah, I platinumed First Light. It was like a really short game because it was a standalone DLC, and it was just really fun. A few more back to back. Persona 5 Strikers. This is like the Persona 5 sequel. That's a Warriors game. And this is actually one of the better Warrior games in my opinion, because it's very creative in what it means to be a Warriors game. Like the way that they incorporated the Persona system and like having the commands and stuff, like actually pausing the gameplay and using like your Persona skills. Really, really fun. Story was also actually really good in my opinion. Like it's not as good as base Persona 5, but it's actually really good. Like the two new characters that actually became like Phantom Thieves are, in my opinion, also really, really good. I really enjoyed this, but the platinum sucked. I hated getting the platinum on this. Because I remember doing everything about it, and then I just needed one more thing. I think it might be this one. I got this at 2021 at 3 AM. No, it's not that one. There was one trophy in this. I'm trying to find it, but I guess it doesn't really matter if I find it or not. But this trophy, yeah, I don't know, I'm not finding it. This game had one trophy where you had to like unlock all of the skills, and the grind for that was insane. This is one of the worst grinds that I've ever had to do in any game. Like I really, really enjoyed this game, and I did like every other trophy besides for that one, and I was like, oh, this is so much fun. I'm really enjoying like doing everything in this game. It was like a lot of things that I like didn't really interact with in my main playthrough, but then I needed that one more trophy to get all the skills, and that was horrible. I hated that. God, I love that game, but fuck that trophy. Subnautica is fun. I don't have that much to say about this. This is one of those games that I like watched a playthrough of when it came out, because like all the YouTubers were playing it with like Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie and Markiplier and stuff, and I remember really enjoying watching them play it. And then it was for free on PlayStation Plus, and I was like, I've watched this game so many times that I never actually played it myself, so let me actually just like play it and see if it's like actually fun to play as well. And I really enjoyed it. This was also a really easy platinum. I think this is one of those things where if you beat the game, you basically have the platinum, and it was really fun. Jack 3. This is one of my childhood games on the PS2. This is like, I remember playing this game over and over and over again. Because you know, when you have a kid, when you have a kid, that is not what I was gonna say. I'm completely jumbling my words. Do you know, when you are a kid and you can't just have every video game, and there are just a few games that you have, and you're kind of just like playing them over and over again? Jak 3 was that game for me. I played this game so many times when I was a kid. But being from Belgium, I didn't speak English when I was younger, so I didn't really... I'm pretty sure this game wasn't dubbed. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass right now. I don't actually know. I'm pretty sure this game wasn't dubbed, right? I don't know. I just remembered when I was... like, either it wasn't dubbed, or I just wasn't paying attention when I was a kid. But I remember playing it and, like, really enjoying the gameplay and not really paying attention to the story, or not really getting the story. And then I saw that it was on the PlayStation Store, like in 2021. I saw that it was on the PlayStation Store, and it had trophy support. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to this game and kind of like relive those childhood memories and do everything it had to offer. And this was really fun. It was a really easy platinum. It was just really, really fun to revisit a childhood game. And I love that that's a thing, that you can like get these games, like these PS2 games, that you can just buy them on the PlayStation Store, and that a lot of them have trophy support. Like, that is really, really nice. Like, as soon as I found that out, I bought this game and platinum. That was so fun. This is a game that I have to go back to. Nier Replicant, incredible. I talked about Nier Automata earlier, one of my favorite games of all time. Nier Replicant is like almost tied with that game. I like Automata a bit more, maybe because I like went into it with no expectations. And like that ending hit so hard for me. Well, this game I was like, oh, it's a Nier game, I'm gonna love this game. Like, I went into it with really high expectations, and I met those expectations. But there's something special about when I beat Automata for the first time. But I'm getting a bit off track. This game I didn't actually platinum, because you had to like max out all the weapons or some insane thing. Yeah, I think it's this one, right? Like, upgrade 33 weapons to their maximum level. And when I beat the game, as you can see, I had less than 15. I had like between 5 and 15. And I googled it at the time, and I was like, oh, getting all of them to max level would take hours and hours. And I was like, as much as I love this game, I didn't really feel like doing that. But maybe one day I will go back and do it, just because I love it so much. I feel like it would be fun to revisit the game and like actually do that. Because like the game is not that long, so like how bad can it be, right? I don't know. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Fun game. I think it came with my PS5. Because like I was never that into Ratchet & Clank when I was a kid. But then, you know how hard it was to get a PS5, so even if I wasn't that interested in Ratchet & Clank, the only way that I could get a PS5 was in a bundle with Rift Apart. And I played it, and I really, really enjoyed it. I also played, like, the other... I think this game, Rift Apart, and the PS4 Ratchet & Clank are the only two Ratchet & Clank games that I played, and I didn't really like the PS4 one that much, which is why I wasn't really that interested in this one. But it's actually a very, very good game. I really love this. It's another easy platinum, but it was really fun. Because, like, obviously you have all the different weapons, and, like, they all play very differently, and just, like, going through it was really fun. Days Gone is okay. It's a very, like, 6.5 out of 10 game, maybe. Like, it's not that good, but it was fun. I actually enjoyed this game. This was another one of those games that I just really enjoyed playing, having a podcast on, and just, like, kind of losing myself into the world. Like, driving around that world, and, like, the whole thing of, like, oh, if you're out of gas, you have to find gas to refuel your bike, and, like, the massive zombie hordes, all of that. It was, like, really fun. Like, it's not the best game. It's far from, like, the best game. It had some very big and noticeable flaws. It's kind of mid, but it was just like fun. I feel like what you can see with me going through this list is that at the time it didn't take much for me to platinum a game. I was just like, oh, this game is fun. Why? Yeah, sure, I'll play it for 10-20 more hours just to get the platinum. Like, it was just what I really enjoyed doing at the time, even if the game itself wasn't that fantastic, like this one. Like, yeah, the game is mid, but getting the platinum was still really fun, and I enjoyed it. I talked about this game earlier. This was another game that, like, it got a free PS5 upgrade, and when the sequel came out, I replayed the game, and the trophies just, like, automatically unlocked because it saw my save file. Demon's Souls is fun. Demon's Souls is interesting because it's not the best Souls game. But it's just really interesting to play because you can very much feel that this is like a prototype for what would later become Dark Souls and like the other Souls games and everything. Like the way that these levels are laid out and the way that they're like a lot more linear, and it's always just like you have a bonfire, an area, and then you have a boss. Then there's the next bonfire, area, boss, next bonfire. Like it was a lot more linear. So like in that way, it's like, yeah, like it's not that interesting and like it's not that great, but it's still like a good game, a fun game. What I really enjoyed about getting the platinum though, I think like the game itself is like, yeah, it's like good, but it's not nowhere close to the other Souls games. But I actually do like this game a lot because the platinum made me like research the broken builds, because you had to beat this game like a lot of times. You had to like mess around with the world tendency, and doing all of that was really, really fun. And I remember at some point I just had a build that would one-shot everything. I would just enter a boss fight, do one move, and the boss was dead. And that was just like really fun to break the game to that point. Plague Tale, another game that was like very mid, but I enjoy stealth games, as you've probably noticed by now. This one was also free on PlayStation Plus, so I was like, you know what, I've heard that this game is good. I thought it was like not as good as people have been saying. I don't really like this game that much. But it was still fun, especially the stealth aspects of it. And the platinum was okay. I think I just got the platinum because I beat the game and it was so short, and I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll just get the platinum, why not? Ghost of Tsushima is another trophy sync, like double platinum thing, because I played the Icky Island DLC. And when I booted up the game to play the Icky Island DLC, trophy automatically popped. Robotics Notes Elite is a game, visual novel in the same franchise as Steins Gate, in the same universe. Playing through this game was very, very fun. All of the games in this universe, like the science adventure universe, are incredible. I haven't played that many of them, but every single one that I've played, I've absolutely loved, and I really need to play more of them. And again, it was just like going through the game, getting all the endings. It's really fun. I liked it a lot. I never played the sequel though. I really have to do that. Oh god, these are a lot. Okay. Scarlet Nexus. I really like this game. It's mostly because the combat is so incredibly fun, and the world and the story itself is like whatever. It has time travel in a way, which is like bonus points for me, because I love time travel. But the story in general wasn't that fantastic, but it did have very likable characters, which is also something I love. Like, the story was kind of meh, but the characters were so likable that I did really enjoy the game. The combat was incredibly satisfying. I love the combat system of this game, and while the story started off kinda eh, in the end it had a few twists, and it set up a lot for future titles, which we sadly haven't gotten yet, and I hope we get them at some point. There was a lot of setup that I really, really enjoyed. So yeah, I did really love this game. Also had to play through it twice because I had two protagonists. And just like seeing different sides of the same story was also really, really cool. I don't know, I feel like this is a weird game because a lot of people I don't know, this is a very divisive game, is what I'm trying to say. I feel like some people played it and are like, oh, this is mid. Like, I don't care about this at all. And then some other people love it, and it's like their whole personality that they love that game. I'm in neither camps, but I am like very much in the positive one. Like, I really enjoyed this game. I loved getting the platinum, and I really hope that one day we get a sequel, because a sequel could be so incredible. Life is Strange Before the Storm, not much to say. Another Life is Strange game, story game, just getting like a few optional objectives along the way, and it was okay. Danganronpa 1 and 2 Reload. This is insane that they got both of those. These are two games, like Danganronpa 1 and Danganronpa 2, that only got one platinum, and this is like one of the hardest platinums I feel like that there is, because I played the game originally on PC, and I wanted to replay it like a couple of years later on PlayStation, and there is this optional game mode that you unlock after beating the story that's genuinely like hours and hours of content. It's like the school mode or something, and doing that in both games was really fun. It was grindy and it took a while, but it was also really satisfying and really fun. And it's honestly crazy to me that only unlocks after beating the game. Like, the game itself is already like pretty long, and you have this fantastic story. Like, I love the Danganronpa games. And getting the platinum on them was like pretty... like, it was kind of... I don't think it was that hard. But like, you had to do like class trials perfectly and stuff, like without retries, without taking damage, everything. But then you beat that, and then you just have this whole other gameplay mode. And that is insane to me. It was really fun though. I love Danganronpa. So awesome. Kind of crazy though, like as I said, you have to beat the game, beat the second mode, beat the second game, beat the second mode, which is like more than 100 hours, and then you get like one platinum trophy. Like, bro, give me two. I platinum 2 games. Give me 2 platinum trophies. But no, it was really fun. Doing the side game mode made me appreciate these games, and they're in its characters a lot more. Horizon Zero Dawn. I really like Horizon. A lot of people say that these games are like very mediocre. A lot of people don't talk very highly of them. A lot of people say that they're like Sony slop or whatever, but I love Horizon. And in a lot of ways, I think these games kind of scratch that same itch that Assassin's Creed used to scratch for me. Not in the way that they're like massive open, like, yeah, the open world game is part of it, but like, I made it in the story way, because Assassin's Creed is a game where you're playing as a guy in the present day, and you're like reliving memories of someone in the past who is then discovering things about an ancient civilization. And like those three eras of time are kind of interwoven with each other in Assassin's Creed, and that is something like narratively that I always really loved about Assassin's Creed. And that's like, even when the games went to shit, I still wanted to play them because that narrative structure was something that I was like really interested in. I loved how there were so many small environmental storytelling things that told you about the ancient civilization that you're uncovering while you're playing as someone in the present day whose story is paralleling someone from the past. And like, that is incredible. And Horizon Zero Dawn does something kind of similarly in the way that you are playing in this post-apocalyptic world, but you're discovering these things about present, like our present day, and you're discovering how the world went to shit and like everything that happened, and there are so many layers to it. And the level design in Horizon is incredible. The environmental storytelling is incredible, because not only does it have to inform the current narrative that you're playing through as Aloy, it also informs the world of like the old ones in the old world, and I think that is really incredible. Also, like, the stealth gameplay is really fun. As you all know, I love stealth gameplay. Also, the weapons are extremely creative, with every single enemy encounter being its own little boss fight where you have to look for weak points, take them out. Like, you can like put tripwires down, you can put traps down. The open world exploration is also really fun, where you can like, at a certain point, unlock like riding and animals. Like, the climbing is also really fun. Like, you can glide off everything, you can climb everything. It's a beautiful game, really fun combat system. Like, I love these games. The story in the first Horizon game is kind of whatever. Like, I mean, it's good and I do like it, but it's not like anything mind-blowing to me outside of like the old world, current world's structure. I liked Aloy, but she wasn't like that. Like, she wasn't like the reason that I loved this game. It was like the world building and the gameplay that made like, I love these games. I think they're really good. I also love Forbidden West, but we'll get to that. And I'm very excited for the next game in the series, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. This is like a horror game. It's a psychological horror game. If you don't know, then I feel like you're kind of lucky. Because this game it starts off as like a generic game, dating sim, but then in the middle it has like a big twist and becomes a psychological horror. And I really like that. I think the story is actually really good. I thought it was really scary when I played it. I originally played it when it first came out on Steam. I think it was for free. But then later they re-released it and added like side stories to it. And because I really enjoyed my original playthrough of it, I played this re-release of it for consoles. The game does lose a lot by being ported to console. I won't tell you why, but it kind of like messes around, like the way that it uses, I don't know, it just works better on your PC, trust me. But this re-release was still good, because like not everyone can play it on PC, I guess, so it's nice that they made a console port for it, and the additional stories are good. Death Stranding, though, is incredible. I love Death Stranding. This is another game that I picked up, not knowing what to think of it. I wanted this game for a while. Like, I was interested in this game for a very long time. I saw it on PS4, and I was intrigued, but never got it. I saw the Director's Cut release. I was intrigued, but never got it. But because I was so intrigued, and because I heard so many things about how unique this game is, because it's Hideo Kojima, and while I never played a Kojima game before at that point, I am always like interested in unique gaming experiences and like trying new things. But I also didn't want to spend that much money on it, because I was like, what if I hate it? Like, if you look at the gameplay, it's just walking, and it looks so boring. But I put it on like a wish list for Christmas or something, and someone ended up gifting it to me, and then I played it, and I love this game. The one thing with Death Stranding that I always say is that if you look at Death Stranding, if you look at gameplay of this game, it looks incredibly boring. But you really need to play it yourself and hold the controller yourself to really see how much depth is in this gameplay. It is fantastic. It is one of the most satisfying games I've ever played. It's honestly very highly ranked in like my favorite games of all time. I have a lot of issues with it. The story is kind of awkward at sometimes. Sometimes it gets a bit too weird. The pacing is kind of bad, I would say. But maybe that's also because I played it like years ago. I feel like, and because in the beginning I also wasn't too sure of it. Like it kind of took me a while to get into it originally. But now that I finished it, I platinumed it. It was really, really fun. I also love the second game. We'll get to it. But I feel like one day I would like to replay the original. And like actually replay like the PS4 original. To not have the additional director's cut stuff. And just like see what it's like. Because as time goes on, the more I love this game. So I would really like to revisit it. And I feel like I'll be able to appreciate it even more. Life is Strange True Colors. Again, a Life is Strange game. Not that much to say about it. It's a story-driven game, just doing some optional stuff in every chapter. But this is probably my favorite Life is Strange game. I just really like the characters in this one. And while it looks kind of cringy, because you're like feeling emotions and stuff as your superpower, while it looks kind of cringy, it's actually really like how they utilized it in the story. Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls. What a weird video game. We talked about Danganronpa 1 and 2 earlier. Those are like visual novels, kind of like Ace Attorney, where you have like visual novels, but they do have gameplay because you're like solving murder mysteries. This is a spin-off of that originally released on PS Vita, and it's a third-person shooter, which is really weird. And you can feel that it was originally a PS Vita game. It is really janky, but because the original games are like puzzle solvers with like murder mystery stuff, they also want to add puzzle solving to this 3D, to this third-person shooter by having like these challenge puzzles rooms that are like basically setting off a chain reaction of like, oh, you shoot one enemy and his body will then like fly over there and trigger this thing, so this explodes, so you kill those enemies and you have to like get through combat rooms that way. And in those ways I thought this game was actually pretty fun. Story is very weird though. Like there are some very, very questionable things in this game that make it extremely hard to recommend. And a lot of people really hate this game, and I can see why. This is a game that it's hard to recommend, and it has some very weird things and some very questionable things. It has some massive flaws, but I don't hate this game because at its core, I feel like at its very core, this game is about the two main characters and them growing closer together over the course of the story, and their character development is incredible. So as much as I don't like a lot of aspects of this game, I can't help but think back on it fondly because of its main character dynamic. That's the wrong video game. God, I hate this game. I misclicked on it, but I'm gonna talk about this now for a second. This game is terrible. I like that you're... I know your comment was about... Mac, you said this is one of the worst games ever made. I know your comment was about Ultra Despair Girls, but I like that I saw it when I opened this game, because this game is pretty shit, isn't it? Guardians of the Galaxy is fun. This is a very underrated game in my opinion. This is like one of... This is like a... This is one of the Marvel games that was made by Square Enix, and I think the studio got shut down, sadly. And this also released after Marvel's Avengers, and Marvel's Avengers was terrible, but so a lot of people didn't try this game because of the reputation that Marvel's Avengers has, but I actually think that the Guardians of the Galaxy game is pretty damn good. So like, very underrated game. I think the character dynamic is incredible. I really love how they incorporated like the team dynamic into the combat, because you're playing as Star-Lord, but you can command like Groot and Rocket, and you can command them, and it's really, really good. The way that it uses that in exploration is also really cool. So that was a good game. But Dilly said Lego Star Wars is good. It is not though, is it? This is the most mindless collectible fest game that I've ever played. And that says a lot, because in this very live stream, we've seen that I platinumed Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Valhalla, and this game is a lot worse in its open world collectible fest. God, what a terrible video game. So let's talk about Elden Ring, which is a fantastic video game. It's often... Elden Ring is a bit weird because sometimes when I think back on Elden Ring, it's like sometimes Elden Ring comes up in the conversation, and then I start thinking like, was it really that good? But then as I sit and think about it, and think about like the different NPCs, the world building, the way that the open world was laid out, it's like, you know what, maybe it is that good. Like, this is a fantastic video game. I love Elden Ring. But there are some things that I don't like about it that much, like some bosses are like reused, and like I feel like it's a bit too big in some aspects, because there are some parts of the open world that I never really cared about that much. And the DLC is also like a lot worse in that, and like reusing bosses. But sometimes, that's what I meant earlier when I was like, sometimes when people mention Elden Ring, I'm like, it wasn't really that good, because those flaws are like the first thing that come to mind. But as I'm playing it, or like as I'm thinking back on it, as I'm thinking in more detail about it, I'm like, maybe it is that good, as those memories like flood back to me. I love that game. Especially, I also think getting the platinum on this game made me love it a lot more. Just like seeing all the different endings, doing all of the NPC story quests, and really, really digging deep in this game and getting everything out of it made me appreciate it a lot more. I really, really like Elden Ring. Another JoJo's game. I don't like this one as much as the other one that I talked about earlier, Eyes of Heaven. But this one was fun. This was like also one of the first fighting games that I did kind of get into, and like playing online matches, and just like, I don't know, like I never get into fighting games. Even with Eyes of Heaven, I did like everything as much as I could in the story mode, and then only did like a few online matches. This game, I actually got pretty into the online. Yeah, I did 100 online matches for this trophy. So that was fun. It was really hard to find the game in this though, because I feel like no one played it. Like, I picked this game up day one, and it was hard to find an online match. So like, I mean, I kind of get it, because it's like an anime fighting game, which are like notorious kind of, but this one was fun. And once again had a lot of really fun character interactions, but not as good as Eyes of Heaven. Last was part 1, I talked about it, I just replayed it on PS5. God of War 2018 is incredible. The best God of War game, in my opinion. I remember playing it originally on release and then replaying it when Ragnarok was like closer to release, I think, or like when it got announced or something, and getting the platinum on it, and this was really, really fun. It has a lot of issues with like reusable bosses being used again, not that many finisher animations, and the game being kind of slow sometimes, like having slow walking sections where characters are talking to you, which are kind of annoying, especially in replays, but this was really fun. I was also really surprised when getting the platinum how much optional content there was. There are like entire realms that you never explore in the base game, and it was really fun to just do everything for the platinum. The Order 1886 is a video game. That's kind of all I have to say about it, to be honest. This is a video game that had a lot of potential, but I feel like they really tried to make this game cinematic, kind of to its down, like it kind of becomes a flaw how cinematic they want this game to be, and the gameplay kind of suffers from it. And the worst thing about it is that this game doesn't end. When you finish this game, it feels like you finished chapter 1. And I heard like from people online that they originally had like multiple games planned, but that they released the first game with like an unfinished story so they could start working on the second game, but because the story was unfinished, people didn't like this game, nobody bought it, and it flopped, and the sequel was never made. But I was really curious about having heard those stories. I was like, you know what, I'll try it out. And I did enjoy this game. It is just really sad that they decided to just not finish it and release it unfinished so they could make a sequel. Like, that sucks. I really wish that they just made their entire story into one video game. And I feel like then it would have been a lot... I feel like then it would have been looked back at a lot more fondly in the gaming community. I didn't platinum Danganronpa V3, and I hate that I didn't, because V3 is my favorite Danganronpa game. It is one of my favorite games of all time, and yet I platinumed 1, I platinumed 2, I even platinumed Ultra Despair Girls, but I didn't platinum this game, because there's this really shit RNG minigame they have to do, and I spent days on that minigame, where, like, I don't know where the trophy is. There was this minigame, it's probably one of the hidden ones, I'm not gonna look for it. There was this one trophy that I had to complete a minigame that was completely random, and I spent days on it, and days and days and days, and I didn't get it, and I was so fucking annoyed that I didn't get the platinum on it. That was it. Oh damn, okay, a lot here. One Piece Odyssey. This is actually, I actually made a video on this game. This is like one of the first reviews that I ever uploaded on my channel, which is very nostalgic. One Piece Odyssey has a very slow start. Like the beginning, the opening hours of this game are genuinely just not good. But as you get further into it, the game really gets going, and I think it gets really good in the end. Like anime games, even One Piece games, are kind of known to not be that great. But One Piece Odyssey, I would say, is one of the better anime games. It's like I would give it like a 7 out of 10. And going for the platinum, again, made me appreciate it a lot more. It was just really fun to play through, like, the biggest arcs of One Piece. But the way that the story is structured is that it's kind of the Straw Hats are looking back and, like, reliving those arcs. So you have a lot of, like, callbacks, and the characters being like, oh, remember when we were doing this, and, like, showing their growth and talking about that. And as a massive One Piece fan, those character interactions were just... oh, they were really good. Yeah, no, it's a fun game. Nothing too special, but yeah. Strangers of Paradise. God. Base game is good, is fun. I played it in co-op with Mac, who is in the chat right now. And another friend of mine. We played this game in co-op, and playing through the main game was actually so much fun. This is like, it's made by the developers of Neo, it's kind of a Souls-like, and it is Final Fantasy based, with like every chapter or every level being inspired by a mainline Final Fantasy game. And the story is absolutely ridiculous. It is such a shitpost of a game, but it was so fun to play through with friends. And when doing the DLCs, because DLCs are dog shit, the first DLC literally just adds a harder difficulty, it adds like the Bahamut difficulty, and all it adds is one single boss fight. But you need to then basically replay the base game or like play side missions from the base game on Bahamut difficulty to make your character strong enough to defeat this one boss. And like the other... like, this DLC was fine because it actually added a new stage, and this one was like an endless tower mode, kinda. But because we were grinding to get this boss, I was like, yo, guys, let's just do, like, all the side quests, you know? Knowing that I only needed, like, one more trophy for the base game, which was to do all side quests. So I was like, hey, guys, let's just do all the side quests, you know? And that then unlocked the trophy, while everyone else was busy, like, putting their XP into perfecting their build. I was there unlocking every job so I could get the platinum, and it was really fun. It was really fun. I liked it. Stray is the cat game, which is really fun. It's a very linear, it's a very vibey game, very pretty, very slow, kind of low on the gameplay, but it was kind of fun to just like be immersed in this world for a few days. Not that much to say about it. Horizon Forbidden West, again, not too much to say about it because I went pretty deep into why I love Horizon so much earlier with the first game. And the second game, I think is better in every single way. I actually think the story in this one as well is genuinely incredible. it adds a bunch of new characters that I think have a very interesting dynamic with the characters of the first cast. Like obviously the main cast carries over. I feel like this game also puts a lot more of an emphasis on characters, which I really like, because the first game was very focused on the world and the greater narrative of Horizon, while the second game was like, okay, we have this world set up now, let's delve a bit deeper into these characters. And that is why I really, really love it. I also think this is still one of the prettiest games that I've played. The open world is also really, really fun. Just a great game. I cannot wait for the third game. Genuinely. I love Horizon. Persona 3 Portable. Earlier I talked a lot about Persona 5 and how I love Persona 5. Persona 3 is my favorite Persona game, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. I originally played FES on the PC, and then when they released Portable, I bought it for PlayStation. Like when they released the remaster of Portable, I bought it, I played through it, I platinumed it, really, really love it. This version of Persona 3 is a bit weird, because it's like basically a visual novel, besides for when you're in the dungeons, like there's no real exploration, but it is still really good. It is still Persona 3. Like, how bad can it be? And the female protagonist that's exclusive to this game is, in my opinion, like a worthwhile addition. I like her exclusive social links. While I don't think she is necessary, and I feel like she is kind of like, oh, we need to sell this downgrade of Persona 3, so let's add, like, a bonus feature. I feel bad saying a bonus feature, but you know what I mean. Like, they added her to sell this version of the game. And I feel like you can see that. Like, while it is a great addition, and while it is really fun, especially if you played FES to replay the game, like, with a different character, it's really fun, and, like, you have different social links, which are all really, really good. But, like, it's still just an addition, which I don't think is necessary for the Persona 3 experience. Like, Persona 3 was already perfect. And then they added a female protagonist, and it's like, great. Like, I'm not gonna complain. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed Persona 3 Portable for those reasons. Like, finally doing everything, because of course when I played FES, I didn't do every single social link, because I only played through it once. And Tartarus was kind of annoying me, because it was like my first time playing this game. But then when I played it again for Portable, like, over time, as time went by, after beating Persona 3 the first time, it slowly became, like, one of my favorite games of all time. And then when I, like, kind of when I was, like, at the peak of loving Persona 3, they remastered Portable, so I was like, nice. Let's play it. Let's play it, like, 3 fucking times, because I had to play it, and then I had to do a New Game Plus with the female protagonist, and I think I had to do another playthrough for, like, some miscellaneous trophies, but it was good. Persona 3 is one of the best games of all time. Jedi Survivor, as I was saying earlier, the Star Wars Jedi games are probably the best thing in Star Wars right now, and the second game is also very, very good. And I really, really like it, but I think a lot of my enjoyment of this game is going to depend on the third game, because this game is very much the second game in a trilogy, while the first game is just a normal story, beginning, end, boom, done, nice little package. This game feels like it's setting up so much for the next game, and as much as I really enjoyed this game, if the next game releases and it doesn't really do anything with the story that was set up here, then this game is going to be a bit more disappointing, and it's still going to be a fantastic game, like gameplay-wise and character-wise and everything, but it's very much a second game in a trilogy, and I need to see where the story goes before I can properly judge this game, I think. But it was really fun to get the platinum, though, don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed it. As we can see, it's a while before I got another trophy, probably because life got busier as I got older. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is very good. I do agree with what a lot of people say in that it is pretty heavily flawed, and it has a lot of missed potential with stuff like Venom, and like even Kraven, and the Black Suit, and the Symbiote, and just like Peter's character arc, Miles as well, this game has a lot of missed potential, and they kind of simplified the combat in a lot of ways, which I don't really like that much. But despite all of that, I do think that this is still a very, very good game. Like, it just should have been so much more. Which is kind of sad, you know? It's kind of sad when you have this game that you're like, this is incredible, but you can see seeds for something way better. And that is just kind of disappointing, especially because a lot of the side content doesn't really go anywhere, and a lot of the optional stories feel like they're just setting up a DLC, and the DLC never released. I don't know if either they cancelled the DLC, which is a really big shame, or maybe those side stories were setting up things for the sequel, which I guess we'll see in a couple of years. But I don't like that I'm being so negative on this game, because I do really, really like it. Because I just love Spider-Man, and I think this was, despite its shortcomings, still a very good story, very, very fun game. And yeah. Tales of Rise is incredible. This is another game that I finished and loved, and then platinumed, and my appreciation grew for it immensely. Because the things that you have to do for the platinum are kind of crazy. They're like, especially the very final thing. I think you have to do a boss rush, which is every single boss from the main story back to back with no save point in between. And then after that, you have to fight them together. And that is crazy. If you played this game, you know that it's crazy. Like, they make like team-ups of 2 or 3 of the bosses teaming up. And then you have to, like, if you defeat them, you do the next one. And stuff like that was insanely hard. But the combat in this game is so fun. It is honestly extraordinary. I adore this game. I love the story, I love the characters, I love the combat. I really need to play more Tales of games, because for some reason I just haven't. Here we go, Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's complicated, because I like this game, but I genuinely despise Rebirth. I think Rebirth is like my least favorite game of all time. I hate it. There's very little things that I like about that game. And a lot of it comes because of how Rebirth handles OG, and how it's not really OG at all, and how it kind of still is OG, like it's not committing to being something else, but at the same time it's also not committing to being Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it's just like all over the place. But Remake is still good. This was my first introduction to Final Fantasy VII, so maybe I am a bit biased, but I think this game does a very good job at setting up the characters. I also really enjoyed this version of Midgar. Like, yes, it's a bit dragged out, and this section of the game did not have to be 30, 40 hours, but I still enjoyed it. I played it on release. I really, really loved it, which made me play OG. I adore OG. I was kind of unsure about Remake in retrospect, because I was thinking about the story changes that they made. And then before Rebirth came out, I replayed Remake, and I'm like, and now I'm at the point where Remake is good, and I do like Remake, but there are a lot of things in this game that I dislike as well. Mostly with like the deviations of OG, and like the whole fate thing, and the fact that Sephiroth is like the final boss is kind of stupid, and like a lot of this game is kind of stupid when thinking about it in the context of Final Fantasy VII OG. But like, it's not a remake, it's a reimagining. It's a very, very different thing. But I still think that in a lot of ways, this game does kind of, in some ways, it does kind of capture the feeling of Final Fantasy VII and the feeling of Midgar. And so I can't hate it. Despite, like, it's really, like, you probably noticed that it's kind of hard for me to talk about this game, because there are so many things about it that I dislike, but at the same time, there are a lot of things about it that I do like, especially the combat. Combat is incredible. I adore the combat system of this game. And because of that, doing the platinum and defeating, like, the super bosses, still worse than FF2, that's a hard one, because I know that you... That's actually a hard one. Because I never... FF2... I feel like FF2 is a worse game than this. But for me personally, it's really hard because they're so different. I dislike FF2 for some reasons, but the reasons for me disliking Remake are so like personal and like bound to my love for OG and how they're like taking OG and kind of messing with it. But I feel like as a game, as a video game, trying to take like the personal aspect out of it, this is definitely a better game than FF2. It is a hard one. I just explained it. Your experience with FF2 was also very weird though, because you got like soft locked and like permanently paralyzed and stuff. Like I did not have those insane moments with FF2. I played FF2 and I was just like, oh, that game was mid, and I moved on. Like it's not very personal to me in any way. I don't have any personal hatred for it or personal love for it. It's just a very mediocre game. Well, this game is kind of complicated, because I really, really love aspects of it, but I also really don't like other aspects of it. So yeah, doing the like super bosses was really fun though. True, you couldn't turn off random encounters. I could because I played the like console version. I think I played it. But yeah, I just had like double XP on double money. I turned off random encounters. I breezed through FF2, bro. But yeah, Remake is weird. I still appreciate it, even if my feelings on it are just complicated. I feel like that's it. Like, I love this game, but I dislike this game. It's complicated. That's, I don't know. I feel like I can't really talk about FF7 Remake without like really sitting down and thinking about it. And that's not this is not really the place for that. Metal Gear 1 and 2. I just wanted to play Metal Gear Solid, and I saw that these were part of the collection, so I thought I'll just play them. I don't think that there was anything that I really had to do for this game to platinum it. I think it was just like play through the game. Oh, and I had to do a boss rush. Like that's it. I literally just played through the game and did a boss rush, and then I got the platinum. So like, I was like, fuck it, why not? The boss rush was pretty fun. Astro's Playroom is fun. Like, it's okay. It's like the free game that comes with your PS5. At the time, I was like, oh, this is really, really fun. And like, it is still fun, but now the Astrobot is out. It's like, obviously, Astrobot is better. And this game feels very fundamental and very, like still fun, but it's very shallow game in comparison. But it was fun. I really enjoyed it. I like how it's like a tech demo for the PS5 and how it like uses the DualSense controls and everything. Persona 3 Reload, I talked about Persona 3 earlier. One of my favorite games of all time. Only recently it got dethroned by the 100 Line Lost Defense Academy. Very happy that I could mention that game in this stream, even though it's not even out on PlayStation. The 100 Line is peak, everyone should play it. But before 100 Line came out, Persona 3 Reload was my favorite game of all time. I made this massive, like 2-hour long review on it on my channel. Where I just talk about everything in it. But TLDR is that I think it is a very good remake that sadly does get rid of some core elements like the exhaustion mechanic. It does make the game a bit too easy because like the combat is just really easy in this game. But I think that what it adds is so incredible and kind of just like it's fine. Like I can see your flaws, but what they added is so good that I really just loved it. Like I feel like a lot of conversation online about this game is pretty negative lately. Maybe that's just a Twitter thing. Maybe the general public still loves this game. But like things like in the original Persona 3, you couldn't max out your social link with female characters because you would automatically romance them, and then that ended up in me just kind of avoiding their social links. That's not a thing in this game. You can just do their social links. You can romance whoever you want. The game won't force you into any of them. The dorm hangouts where you get closer to your characters are incredible. I love that you have hangouts with the male characters in your party because the original game didn't have that. You only had social links with your female party members to romance them, while in this game you have like social link episodes or like link episodes or something, which are basically social links for the main male characters and like their party members, and it's incredible. I think the gameplay is also really fun. I love what they did with Tartarus. It looks beautiful. It's really satisfying to run through. I think I just really love it. Like I get it. There are flaws and there are things that it messed up, but God, this is a good game. And like, yes, they didn't include the female protagonist, but as I said earlier in the portable thing, I don't think the female protagonist is a vital part of Persona 3 in the slightest. Would it have been cool if she was here? Yes, absolutely. I would have loved it if she was here, but she's not, and I don't think it actively takes away from the game. Persona 3 Reload is fantastic. 10 out of 10 video game. Beautiful. I love it so much. I cannot like really express my love for this game in words. It means so much to me. Like everything about it is just holy shit. What a video game. Like that ending, man, still not recovered. Ugly crying at the end. Holy shit, what a game. Ace Attorney, Apollo Justice Trilogy. A lot of people don't like this one as much as the original trilogy, and I can see why. With me, it's kind of mixed. I think Apollo Justice, like the 4th Ace Attorney game, like this is a collection, for anyone who doesn't know, this is a collection of Ace Attorney 4, 5, and 6. 4 is fantastic, one of the best games in the series. 5 is really, really good, like genuinely a fantastic game. In comparison to the rest of the series, it's like in the middle, I would say. It's not one of the best in the series, not one of the worst. It like sits comfortably in the middle as a fantastic game. 6 is a bit on the lower end, I would say, because I didn't really like the main antagonist, but it also had some very, very strong moments. And the Ace Attorney Apollo Justice Trilogy is just incredible. I made a video on this game as well. It's out on the channel. It's a spoiler-free review on why I really love these games. So yeah, if you're interested, you can watch that. I just really love those games, and getting the platinum on them was like fine. Like it's again like a linear visual novel game, so there's not like really a grind to do. Just like some optional conversations, and they were pretty fun. Stellar Blade, the Gooner game. I like this game. I think it has a very, very flawed story, and a lot of the characters are kind of like cardboard. But the combat is incredibly satisfying. I genuinely love this combat system. I think it is super, super fun. I think the open world exploration is also really fun, because this game does open world exploration kind of like the PS3 era, I would say. And that might sound kind of negative, but I actually think it's really good for that reason, because it's not overly massive. It does not overstay its welcome. It's pretty focused. It has like a good amount of side content that all feel worthwhile. It has some collectibles that all feel worthwhile because they're like upgrading your character. And like, even if the story was kind of whatever, I do think that at the end, it had like 3 endings. And I think that like the one that I'm assuming is the canon ending, the good ending, sets up something really, really interesting for a sequel. And even the bad endings, or the other endings, show that there is a lot more to this world than this game was letting on. And that does make me pretty excited for a sequel. So yeah, fantastic game on the gameplay side, pretty lacking on the story side, because it's like in the final hours, or like basically the ending, where it's like, oh, it's getting good, and then it just stops. And it's kind of like, fuck, I want more. Like, I do really like this game. Also because the boss fights are incredible. The boss fights are awesome. And the way that they are reused in the open world is kind of weird, because it is just the same boss again, but it's like a challenge mode, kind of. Like when you do a story boss and then you find them in the open world, it's kind of like a challenge of that boss. And that was really cool in my opinion. It was fun to find them again. I should go back and platinum Metaphor, to be honest. That's a side note. I just kind of want to replay Metaphor. Control is awesome. It's a Remedy game. The Remedy games are incredible. Control is especially fun from a gameplay standpoint. The story's a bit weird. It's very, like, world building heavy. And I am someone that, if the world is interesting, that's great. I am just more character focused. Like, I want my games to be more character focused, and like this game is a bit lacking in that aspect, I think. Like, I like the characters, don't get me wrong, but they're not like that incredible. Like, the sequel of Control isn't about Jesse like the main character of the first game, it's about her brother. And I'm not here like, fuck, I wish I had another Jessie game, I love her so much. I'm like, okay, sure, like, let's see the brothers' tale. Like, I'm curious to see what them is. Like, I don't really need more Jessie. So, like, in that way, it's like, I just really enjoyed this game. The world is incredible. The gameplay is fantastic. It's a really fun third-person shooter. And again, getting all of the achievements was really fun to really, like, discover all of the secrets, because this game had a lot of secrets. And a lot of things that the main game doesn't even touch on. So it was really fun to do everything in it. Drakengard 3. This game is very flawed, mostly in its gameplay aspect, because the mission, it's like, mission structure is very repetitive, pretty linear. The game also runs at like 10 FPS at most. The screen tearing is horrible, but the story is incredible. Like, genuinely, like, the dialogue is weird, and it's like people constantly talking about murder and sex and like being overly edgy and like kind of in a comedic way, which is kind of weird for a Drakengard game, because like the first game is so incredibly dark and depressing and serious all the time, and then 3 is like joking about how much they want to murder everyone and like end all life and have sex and everything. So it's like weird in that way, but it is a very, like, I feel like the game is kind of trying to act like it is something that it's not. And when you like get further into the story, you get these really fantastic character moments. Like, there's genuinely some of the characters that are like never serious throughout the whole game, but then like near the end they have like some very insightful dialogue that kind of makes you like recontextualize their character up to that point. And you're like, fuck, man, this game is so good. And the story is incredible. Like, the way that it handles multiple timelines and multiple endings is really, really good. Gameplay-wise, it is fun despite being extremely janky. It is kind of sad that they got rid of the dragon missions, like Drakengard 1. There's something that Drakengard 1 does better than this game, is that Drakengard 1 had missions where you're on the ground doing melee combat, and at any time you could press a button and your dragon swoops and grabs you off the field, and then you're flying above the field, like raining fire on your enemies. And another press of a button, you just jump off your dragon, go back to ground combat, which was a very, very cool gameplay loop. And this game doesn't do that. And I'm guessing it's because of technical limitations, because just with ground combat alone, this game does not run very well. The platinum for this game, though, is one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do in any game, ever. Because you have to defeat the final boss. And the final boss of Drakengard 3 is the hardest thing that I've ever done in any video game. But it is also one of the most satisfying things that I've ever done in a video game. And while it is a very strange final boss that literally transforms the game into a rhythm game, I think narratively, it is extremely fitting. And it also kind of like when you beat that boss, like the wave of emotions that just hits you, that not only did you defeat the boss, but the narrative implications of it is insane. And like the character stuff that goes down is insane. And like that like I'm getting like shivers thinking about it. That moment was incredible. One of the coolest things I've ever had to do in a game. And no, like genuinely though, not even Stockholm Syndrome. Like Drakengard 1 is Stockholm Syndrome. That is. Because that game is not that good. But this was like, fuck man, I love Drakengard 3, like as flawed as it is so good. And I really need to like read the side stories and like novels and stuff. Inform the narrative and characters. Incredible game. The DLC was mid though, besides for like 2 or 3 chapters. I talked about The Last of Us 2 earlier. I just replayed it because I wanted to see if my opinion changed on it. And the trophies auto popped. Ace Attorney Investigations Platinum. Once again, visual novel, very linear, not hard to get the platinum, but very good games. The first game is probably my least favorite Ace Attorney game because it's not a bad game, it's just very mediocre throughout and doesn't really have any high peaks or like low lows. It's just very mediocre. Like, it's okay. But the second game is one of the best games in the series, and one of the best games. It is the best game in the series, and one of the best games of all time. The second game is fantastic from beginning to end, and I really loved it. Astrobot is Astrobot. A very, very fun game. As everyone knows, obviously, it is incredible. And I love that they got these, like, free DLC updates. It was really fun to, like, revisit the game whenever an update dropped. It was very cool. Oh. I just realized how close we were to the end. Yeah. I didn't know Dragon Guard 3 was that recent. Fuck. When did I play this? 2024. God. Dragon Guard 3 both feels like ages ago, but it also feels very, very recently, I guess. But no, Death Stranding 2. This is like one of the last platinums that I got. Yeah. Death Stranding 2, incredible. I think it improves on the first game in every single way. It is very different than the first game though, because the first game is a lot harder, a lot more arduous, as you don't have as many tools that this game gives you. But I also talked about this in my, like, looking back at 2025 video. I think that it's really incredible how the game kind of takes your ending point of Death Stranding 1, where you have all of those tools, and then that ending point is the beginning of Death Stranding 2, and it builds on it even more. And because of that, the game is, like, too easy in a lot of ways, and because of that, the game kind of misses that arduous aspect of the first game, but I do think it's really interesting how it evolves from that point. And it's just an incredible game. I love this game. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Where the first game I had like issues with the pacing and stuff, I think this game is paced incredibly well. I love the story. I think this story also gonna be very emotional. I really, really adore this game. And it's also because I love this game so much that I am kind of curious to going back to like the original Death Stranding 1. But yeah, incredible game. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, we're so recent now. These are like games that I played very recently. Okay, Genshin Impact is here, but actually platinumed this ages ago. I platinumed this in 2022. But obviously it's a live service game, like it gets updates constantly, and that's why it's pushed to the top of the list, because like the last trophy that I got for it was like end of 2025, which makes sense. But yeah, so this should technically be a lot lower on the list. Genshin Impact, very controversial game. I'm not gonna link on it for too long. But what I will say, and I always say this, because a lot of people are always like, why do you like Genshin Impact? Why do you play Genshin Impact? It's just a gacha game. Like, it's just a sloppy gacha game. And my thing with this is that if it was just a gacha game, I would not put this much time into it. I think it is one of the best open world games that I've ever played. It is incredibly fun to explore this world, and every single update where they add a new open world area, I am extremely excited to go and explore it. This is a game that has been with me for so long. I started playing it, like I started the PlayStation version in 2022, but I remember starting it in 2021, I think. Like I started playing this game in 2021, and I've just been playing it consistently since then. This is the only game that I've been playing consistently for that many years, because there's just something about it. There's something about the world that keeps me coming back, about the story that is so incredibly detailed, and the world building is so good. Like the latest patch that we got, like the latest region, because it goes to like continents, regions kinda. The latest region has been like dropping lore bombs that are insane, talking about stuff that we've known about since the very beginning of the game. Like Mondstadt is the first region, and there were so many story setups done there that are now getting paid off. Like 5-6 years later, it is incredible to be following a story for that long and getting like payoffs for stuff that we've just been wondering about, like things that we just don't know, like small hints that were dropped in the very beginning of the game. They were like, oh, I wonder like what this is. That's kind of weird that this character mentions that. Like, I wonder if that'll ever lead to something. And then it gives you like an insane payoff all those years later. So like, for as many flaws as it has, for being a gacha game, and like the power creep in some ways, like even though it's not as bad as some other gacha games, like of course there is a power creep. It is also like the beginning of the game is very, very slow. Like it's really hard to get into. You have like time limited events which fucking suck and are terrible, and I hate that the game has like an element of FOMO, as every gacha game has. But there's just like, there's a reason that I'm still playing it, and like it's just, there's so much in this game that I love. And I just remember that there was a time, I think it was like when I just graduated, I think, that I had a lot of free time, or I was like in my last college years and I had a lot of free time, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna platinum Genshin Impact. So yeah, even though like it's not 100% because I didn't 100% all the later regions, but yeah, I love this game. And Neo the World in Suiyu is my 100th platinum, and that is very, like, I did that on purpose as a milestone trophy because I love the world in Suiyu so much. I played the game originally on a Nintendo Switch, and I beat it, and I was like, this is my favorite game of all time. I think that was like, I can't really say, my memory is not that good. I think it's like 2022, 2023? I don't know, maybe 2024? No, probably 2020. Wait, I can actually look this up, because I have on my backlogged account, not that this matters, but I'm talking about it now, so I want to find out when I played this. And I have this backlogged account where I list every game that I beat, and I added dates to it. I beat this game in 2021. 2021, I beat the world, and I beat Neo, the World Ends With You on the Nintendo Switch, and as I beat the story, I was like, this is the best game I've ever played, and I want to platinum it. But Nintendo does not have achievements. I also unlocked like Another Day, which is like a side game mode that you unlock when you beat the main story. It's like an extra story chapter, and I really wanted to play it, but I was like, I'm not going to, because one day I am gonna replay this game on PlayStation, get the platinum, and then I'll play it. And recently I did that, and because this was my favorite game of all time for quite a while, I was like, I feel like this should be my 100th platinum. Also because a lot of people were talking about how grindy this trophy is, because you need to do some insane stuff, like you have, like, the game has like outfits and stuff. You have to buy every single outfit, which is very expensive and like a lot of money grinding. But the craziest one is that you had to master 300 pins, master 300 types of pins, and every single pin is basically a skill, which is a unique skill in the game. There are 300 of them, and like some pins are only dropped by specific enemies in specific chapters on specific difficulties. So I was like, this is gonna be an insane grind. And a lot of people also said like, oh, like getting all the pins, maxing out 300 of them is a crazy grind, and it will take you a while. So I was like, oh, if it's like, it's such a special game, if it's such a hard platinum, I'll keep it for a special moment. So I kept it for my 100th platinum, and I still love this game. And despite being so grindy, I genuinely think that getting the platinum made me appreciate this game even more. Because there are stuff like the super boss, which I never did originally, and you had to do it to get a pin drop. There are certain pins, like certain skills, that if you equip them together, they're an ensemble and it buffs your skills. That's like stuff that I never even knew about that was in the game. There were some skills that I never used because, as I said, they're all unique, and I always preferred the faster paced playstyle, because you have like a pin that just like shoots, and you have a pin that just does like quick melee attacks, but then you also have one that chains enemies and that drops time bombs and that are like laser rays, or that you like pick up an object on the map and you have to like move it yourself with your controller to like slam into enemies. Just experimenting with all of those different pins was so much fun. So like, while it was a big grind and it took me like over 100 hours, I'm sure, I loved it. I loved every single second of it. It was so much fun, not only to revisit this game and like appreciate the story even more through like early foreshadowing and like picking up on some early hints, and like obviously if you replay a game you're always gonna like pick up on a lot of thematic meaning and stuff. But then like doing everything about it, seeing all the skills, using everything was so much fun. I love this game. Obviously over time it has been dethroned from my favorite game of all time by Persona 3 Reload, and then dethroned again by the 100 Line Lost Defense Academy, but it is still top 3 games of all time, so I feel like that's pretty damn good. I adore this game. It has such a fantastic story, such incredible characters. The character writing in this game is like no other. They feel very human and grounded despite being anime characters, and the overworld in Suiyu is just fantastic. And that's it. Those are 100 platinums. As you can see, I'm currently playing through Trails for my 1K special, which I have announced, and I'm also playing through Requiem still, where I'm getting the trophies now, so that's probably going to be Platinum Trophy 101, but that is it. Hello again everyone. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching or listening. But since it's been a while since my last upload, and since this video is quite different from what I usually upload, I thought I'd give a small little update at the end here. As you can probably see by my background, quite a bit has changed, because I've been busy with my girlfriend moving in with me, and I've also been very busy with my Xenoblade 2 retrospective video. And because I was so busy with all of that, I honestly have no idea when the next video will be uploaded, so I thought, why don't I turn this video idea that I've had for quite a while into a live stream. That way I can actually keep my channel active in some way, shape or form, and because the live stream was actually really fun, I felt like I had a pretty good discussion both with chat, but also to discuss all of the trophies, I thought I'd just edit it into a smaller video. Smaller, not necessarily in video length, because it's quite a long video, but like project size. This is a smaller video, more low-key on the editing side. Maybe the break between content isn't even that long and I'm overthinking it, but to me it really feels like it's been ages and I want to keep the channel active because I just really like working on these videos. I just don't really want the channel to be absolutely dead for months, even if I am like daily working on stuff. The Xenoblade video is coming along pretty well though, and it is also one of my most ambitious projects yet, as it is structured a bit differently compared to my usual stuff, and that's also why it's taking me a bit longer to get it done. It is just a bit of a challenge to write something like this, but I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I really hope you guys will enjoy it once it's done. And I'm actually almost done writing the script for it, so it is making good progress. I'm not just talking about this video for months without actually getting anywhere, and once I am done writing the script, it's just recording, editing, all of that stuff. Also, when I'm done writing it, I might move on to like a smaller side project, as I have a lot of ideas for smaller videos that I really want to work on. I just want to get the script done first. And I also really hope that you enjoyed this video. It is a bit different. I've never really done a live stream before. I never really edited a live stream into a video before, so I really hope that you guys enjoyed this one, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. Like, definitely make sure to tell me what you all are thinking about this. And if I ever have another video idea that could work as a live stream, I might do more of these in the future. I have no idea, but if it happens, I'll let you guys know in like the community tab. I'll tweet about it on Twitter. Just, you'll hear from me then. But I do want to end it here because this video has already been long enough and I feel like I'm starting to ramble once again. So thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Again, give me all your feedback. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you all again soon.